All right, here we go. Welcome back to another video with SirLucien Gaming, another stream. We're getting going. We're down a player tonight, but we're going to soldier on and play some Dungeons & Dragons on this holiday week. As you can see, our players are here. You can see their cards down below. The only one we don't have tonight is the Wizard Scrawl, who will be staying in town as he has caught the bird flu. And so with that, our players who have, if you missed their previous adventures, it was they had just finished fighting once again at the Black Pyramid that they found, and they have been in a constant kind of running battles with Norkers and Gnolls, and for the first time a couple of ogres showed up. And they've been fighting over this first level of this pyramid for the last 3 or 4 weeks now. And soon they may try to actually dive down deeper. But without their wizard, I assume that you are not ready to go back unless you have him with you.
Correct.
No wizard, no delving.
All right. Cool. So we're going to pick our adventure up tonight in our tavern. Let me get my notes open because I don't have them open. Which is the lovely coin. And if you did miss anything, you can always check it back. I put all the episodes up on YouTube, and you can check the VODs also if you want to get caught up. So let's get over to our world info here. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we are in the port town of Bastion, and the lovely coin is where our adventure will start today. They have just come back, and we'll say that you guys did your long rest. It'll be morning when we start. And the lovely coin is the tavern where all of the adventurers hang out. It is ran by Rula, the half-orc, who used to be an adventurer and kind of keeps tabs on all the adventurers in town, keeps them out of trouble, is the one who would know if a group goes missing, typically might know where a group had went off. A lot of times the groups will check in with her, and is also the place where the table is portrayed or displayed in the center of the inn, which is carved the actual map, and you kind of see a little bit of that on the overlay there. So, one thing that you notice for today is that you are the only 4 having breakfast here. Now, normally when you've gotten up to go on expeditions early on at Port Bastion, because you were one of the first groups to be heading out into the wilds, there usually was quite a few other adventurers here still waiting to form groups or find other expeditions to go on. Typically, there could be anywhere from 8 to 12 other adventurers hanging out, or people that have just come back from adventuring. This is the first time that you've seen the tavern pretty empty. And Rula notices as you come down and you are taking your breakfast, kind of comes over to where your table is, and we see sitting at our table, we have our 4 adventurers, which is Dragar, Sam, Timor, and Alberix, sometimes known as the Monster Squad, because they are all 2 Dragonborns, a Furbolg, and a Githzerai, and a Kenku normally, to tell you that, one, she had a message from Skrull saying he was very, very sick, and he will be staying in his room, but he wanted to be sure that you guys knew and did not worry about him. And so that she would kind of keep a look after him as you guys go out. And then the other thing she asked you about is if you would head out, and there was the shrine to the northeast that has been abandoned. You guys have seen it a couple of times. It got converted into a shrine by some of the original adventurers that were here years and years ago. And every now and then, people from the town will go up, and And like on holidays, they'll go up there and pray, or they'll go up and leave offerings every now and then. It was to a goddess who kind of watched over water and tranquil pools and ponds and lakes and ocean and just all that kind of stuff. So, but she had heard that one of the expedition groups coming back thought they had seen some type of group or creatures or something poking around at this old shrine. And she wanted you guys to go out there and check it out if you could, because we know that in these lands, prior to you guys arriving, that there were a faction or a group of creatures here that would desecrate shrines. So every time that shrines get put up, or anytime somebody tries to build churches or anything like that, they typically get attacked or destroyed or overrun or taken down, just like stone by stone, brick by brick, building by building. And so anything outside of the walls is usually susceptible, if it's some type of religious site of some sort, to being attacked. And it kind of is something that you've heard about, but haven't really run into too much. And you'd heard about the new shrine that had been found, which was also an older goddess of the lake and rivers. So that we think that the kind of the current theory from the town is that you're at an area where there were several shrines to this same god, probably sprinkled throughout this whole coastal area from whatever civilization might have lived here before. But then these shrines were overrun or abandoned or something. So you guys know that there is one up, and it's on your map when you're looking at it on your handout. It is to the northwest, just before you would get to the orc encampment. So you guys have been up to the orc encampment, and you could have seen or passed by this shrine before. That's out on the coast and looks out over the ocean there.
Rula, if it is your wish for us to visit it, then I see no reason why we shouldn't.
If someone has been desecrating shrines in the area, we must end that.
Yes, that's the least we can do for you.
Finish stuffing those eggs in my mouth and saying, I'm all for a perambulation after my meal. So let us be off.
Oh, egg crumbs coming out all over.
At this point, Albirix is going to reach into a pouch and produce a few things that he has gotten for his friends. And as he opens his long, thin, clawed fingers, in his palm are a number of carved lockets, wooden lockets that are about big enough to hold a grape. I've gotten you something. Go on and take it, Dragar.
You got me something?
I've got you all something. And with that, each one lifts of its own accord as he uses his psionic ability to carry it with unseen hands over to each one of you to where you can take it.
A gift. Thank you, strange man.
Oh, I feel bad. I did not get you one.
Is not the point of gift giving just to give?
Give your gift to you later, when we're alone.
Your friendship is gift enough.
I will take the locket and put it on.
If you open it, you'll notice that there's a painting of your favorite Gith inside of there as well.
I will cherish it always. I'll put the locket inside my shirt.
And with that, he also, at the bowl of the fruit that's at the table. He takes them and rolls them around inside of his hands and mutters a few words, and they glimmer slightly for a second, and then they lift up as of their own accord and then move out to each person. I'm going to cast Goodberry on them. So each one of you will have the ability to put a Goodberry in your locket, so you can have that. And I'll put it in chat. Goodberry lasts for 24 hours.
What is this strange witchcraft?
Should you fall in battle, you would be able to we should be able to revive you with the nourishment provided from this berry.
It is not a way to mind control us.
What are you talking about, Dragon Man?
I don't know. You come from strange lands and you talk of strange dimensions. I do not know how much I trust an item like this.
And you are a Dragon Man. Please, you jest.
Well, Sam does have a good point. You get to control our brains with this.
Yes.
You just succumb
Yes,
to your
I can.
Timur's going to snap that berry up and put it right in the
Eat it.
locket and stick it in his shirt. And he says, I guess if your minds are weak, that could be a danger, but I think he has good intention.
Okay, anything I do not like, and this is coming off, and I'm strangling you with.
Consider this the last gift given, Dragon Man,
Till Christmas.
I look over to Timor.
until
You
Yule.
You decide so quickly. You trust so easily.
I do.
So, it is not a trick.
It's the nature of my people to be forgiving.
Will this berry help you fight more, or just stand there and take blows?
So then, Dragon Man, what is it that I've done to give you such cause for distrust? What is it? Is it risking my life? Is it fighting at your side? Is it using my magics to keep you alive? Which part of it? Tell me now. And at this point, you get the sense that he's a little irritated with your shit.
Yeah.
You have not done anything as of yet. It's just you've talked of these strange lands and strange dimensions that I know nothing of. It's just not a part of my world, and I just wanted to make sure that you will not try to control Sam's mind as I see you control others.
I control what? I control healing magic when you're in need of healing? I control the very ground that our enemies fight on? What is it? What have I done? And with this, he stands up and walks off. You've clearly offended him.
Okay, slow down. I'm not saying there's anything bad that can be happening with this. I'm just being wary of a strange gift from somebody I just met but a month ago. Although, yes, you have fought valiantly by our side this whole time.
He's sipping my tea because this argument's been going on for a month, I swear.
Sam, is it because he's different than you and I? Is that why you don't trust him?
Look at us. We're all different in these parts.
They are different. We are not. We are the same.
But fine, I will accept it and wear it and be grateful. If it is as you say it is, I thank you.
It is our custom when you upset someone to hug them from behind and ask for forgiveness.
Timur will stand up, start grabbing his gear. And
You
say,
can
if he wanted you dead, he'd have slit your throat in the middle of the night.
you can roll insight with advantage to know that he's lying to you.
Albirix has his gear already put together. He's waiting by the door.
Lyrics, calm down. Sam means no harm. He's been betrayed before.
You're fine. I understand if I've earned your mistrust somehow by fighting by your side.
Sam, after this, holds it up to his big dragonborn snout, sniffs it, practically inhales it, puts it between his two front incisor teeth, gives it a little bit, tiny bit of bite just to test it, and then puts the locket around his.
Berry is sweet and dark.
With that, our group gathers their remaining equipment, their packs, and you begin to head to the front door. And one thing that kind of throws you off a tiny bit is that every other expedition you've left, there's always been more people in the tavern, and Rula does kind of the kind of a tradition for when expeditions are going out, but there's nobody else in the inn, so that you see when as you're heading towards the door, all you see is Rula with her mug filled, and then she drinks heartily as you exit, wishing you luck and wishing you all the gods' speed to make it back. And you head out. It is a cold, misty morning. It looks like the rain that's happening, that is a mist at the moment, will probably most likely turn to snow. And you gather your cloaks about you as the wind cuts deep as it whistles through the different alleyways of the port bastion. Once again, you head up to the northern gate that you've been going out of, and you kind of start to recognize the different rotations of guards. There's been quite a few, but you're starting to see familiar faces that are always seems to be at these gates. And as they see your figures come out of the wind and blowing, swirling snow that is beginning to start, you hear the gates open as you plod your way through, and then you hear the sounds of the gate closing as you're about 100, maybe about 50 yards away, as they clang shut. And you begin a cold journey northward towards the shrine. After pretty much a full day of biting ice, wind, and cold, cutting through all of the warm layers that you actually have, you decide it's time to make camp. And it's been a while since we've kind of seen what camp looks like with this group, and it might be a little different without Scrawl being there. So tell me a little bit about what camp looks like, what each of you do when you go to make camp at night. Are there certain things you're doing or performing, or jobs? How are you setting up your camp? That kind of thing.
Teamer will dig the fire pit deep so that the light can't be seen.
You're going to need lots of warmth tonight. Okay, so we see our Furbolg digging out an area to hold what will be the night's fire.
I am sharpening some sticks, sticking them into the ground. Makeshift breastworks, just to help protect in case we are attacked.
Okay.
Just one of the tips, I harden with the little breath of fire in my mouth.
Before we camp, Albirix usually finds a spot that will turn us away from the wind and shelter us from the elements a bit, and then usually try to find some sort of extra sustenance from the area around and work to gather some stuff to help make a bit of a shelter to break the wind as well.
All right, and Sam?
Sam is just out of the light of the fire. Can be seen just kneeling with his hands on his knees, eyes closed, in a meditative state, obviously praying to his God.
Once
Awesome.
that fire
So
pit's
we
done
work,
too, I'll
he
start
prays.
working on dinner.
Yeah.
So the pit is being dug, and we have Dragar sharpening sticks and putting them in the ground, kind of in different little defensive areas. Alberex is kind of looking around the immediate area, and you're seeing just a lot of kind of just like the leaves have come down, the ground has become frozen at this point. You're not really finding too much, though you're finding certain types of trees that, you know, if you cut the branches off, will make good windbreaks, so that you can use it against like some type of lean-to shelter, or at least a way to pile them up and create some kind of shelter from the wind. And it's about that time that, as each of you, almost probably in unison, turn, and you see Sam kneeling and praying, there appears to be 4 cloaked figures standing right behind him, as if looking at him and staring at him and ignoring the 3 of you.
Hey, who is that?
If I'm digging, I'm going to grab my javelin and get ready to throw.
Reveal yourself, foes.
Yeah, so as we see the furball quickly reach for the javelin and get ready, we see Dragar speak to them, and the cowls of these hooded cloaks kind of turn towards you, but it is so dark inside the cowls, you cannot see any face or features as the 4 stand behind Sam, who's still on his knees. And then Sam, it's at that point you kind of feel that presence behind you, as if there's somebody, you know, like the hair, like the scales on the back of your neck start to tingle, as if you're being watched, and it's like unnerving enough that it interrupts your prayers enough to make you kind of turn and look. And when you turn and look, even you can't see into the cowls, and there are 4 cloaked figures probably about 7 feet tall, but each one varies slightly. Might be a 6'5" or a 7, or a, you know, somewhere in that area. And it's just a complete black cloak, and you're not able to see the faces as you look behind you.
So I turn around and slowly stand up. I sensed your presence. Reveal yourself. Who dares to interrupt my praying?
You hear a deep kind of bass chuckle come from one of the figures that stands there. And he kind of looks you up and down, and you feel like something's staring into your soul. And once he has finished chuckling, he says to you, "Who are you praying to?"
I am praying to my goddess, Sashahi. She watches over us in these times. What brings you here?
And the voice chuckles once again and says, "She does not help you in these lands."
Bite your tongue, Sashahi watches over us in any land and every land. Her vision and reach is all-encompassing. How dare...
And then you hear another voice, this one almost like the sounds of bells and tinkling, as a female voice says to you, kind of in a chuckle also, and says, "No, young one. She has no power in these lands. It is I who have been granting you your prayers."
And who might you be?
"Ooh, this one's forward," says the female voice. The other one looks and says, "I do not believe any of these are worthy. I believe we waste our time." This is a third voice that you're hearing. "Let us be done with this and move on." And you hear kind of like the sound of a sword unsheathing, but you don't see it.
How far away from them how far away from me are they?
Easily within 20 feet.
I would like to use my telekinesis to pull the hood back on one of them to reveal their face.
Go
And I'll
ahead
cast-
and make. Hold on a sec. Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
Me?
Yep.
Does a natural 20 work?
The natural 20 does work. You immediately recognize that as you try to move your spell, it is rebuffed in such a way that it nearly knocks you back onto the ground, and immediately you realize you were in the presence of gods.
Stay your hand, dragon. These are those who come from lands such as myself.
And
What
everybody else can make
language?
a religion check now too. And for those of you, the paladin and the cleric, you get advantage on your check. Traegard, there are no gods.
Gods, don't be foolish.
Yeah. So Sam and Tibor, it wasn't a very hard check. So you immediately feel the divine power radiating off of them, and this is the type of power that you feel yourself when you're casting the abilities and the spells you have. It's that feeling of power that you feel radiating off of them. A fourth one speaks and says, well, maybe a challenge is in order to allow them to prove themselves. We don't need to just end their mortal lives. I mean, there are rules to these things. And the larger one, which was the one who had started to kind of unsheath some type of weapon, you just heard the scrape of metal underneath the cloak, and turns and looks at the other cloaked figure. You and your games. It's always games with you, trickster. He says, well, at least let us have some fun. What say you, mortals? Are you willing to accept a challenge for a boon, a favor of the gods?
Provided it does not harm my companions, I see no reason why not.
We have defeated ogres and vile creatures that bite. What could this be that could possibly challenge?
Well, see, you are now in our lands. You are outsiders. And they definitely look at Alberix quite intently. You, the furthest from here. I have a mind to send you back with a snap of my fingers. But
I've said the same.
they kind of nod to you. But we can see your companions. We can see you've already begun to interfere and mingle within these lands. It is interesting to know what your plans are or to what you might do. So this is it. We give you a challenge to prove yourself, to allow you to continue to ask and pray for our power. For the gods you pray to before you came here, they cannot answer you in these lands. It is us, or those like us, who answer the prayers while you step foot on this soil.
I am up for a challenge. Friends, what say you?
Set forth your challenge.
Sam just nods.
Alberix's yellow eyes narrow, and his face tightens. He knows of the games of gods. He comes from where gods dwell. He says nothing.
Then with a swirl from the fire as it spits up like the debris from the wood and sparks, and it flashes enough that everybody's slightly blinded for a moment, there's like a popping sound, and then you appear out of the snow. And I will switch us over so our group can see. You appear in what looks to be like an arena of some sort. Looks like the ground and the floor is made of sandstone. There appears to be runes of power that slowly pulse throughout. You are in an elevated area that's probably about 10 feet up from the actual floor. And over on the right-hand side, over on the right-hand side, are what appears to be all of the citizens of Bastion. You see faces you recognize, some that you've only seen in passing, some that you've seen quite often. Many of the adventurers that you've seen in the tavern, Rula, all of them appear to be all seated and watching each of you as you have appeared. There is no sound coming from that area, and there is almost like a barrier that slowly pulses in front of them. The four figures, each one has been arrayed behind or out in the center of the arena. And we hear the first one steps forward, and it is the one that was a little bit shorter, but still probably like 6'5". Still cannot see their faces, still completely cloaked. And it's really a hidden face, though it's not like it's cowled over. It's definitely obscured. And with a female voice that, again, you hear the bells and the tinkling as the words are said. She looks to her companions and says, well, and remind me, Sam, what color Dragonborn are you?
Bronze.
Bronze? Okay. Yeah. And she kind of steps forward. She turns and looks at her companion. She's about 5 feet away from her. And she says, my champion will be the bronze Dragonborn. The others kind of chuckle. There's nods. And then one of the others steps forward. This one you knew as the trickster says, then the other Dragonborn is the one I shall choose. He looks very cunning to me. And he laughs. The two remaining seem to be large, shouldered built creatures that must be at least nearly 7.5 feet tall in their cloaks. And the one voice that you recognized was the initial person speaking, kind of looks to the other one and says, feel free. Choose either. I do not see the worth in what is left. And the last cloaked figure nods and says, I will take the outsider. He's got a keen eye to his look. And he chooses Alberix as his champion, leaving Timor with the final large figure. So now I would like everybody to roll a 1d100 for me. Okay, some good rolls. Nice. 49, 53, 54. All right. So first up So we see the figures kind of disappear. They just kind of, it's almost like a black smoke, and then it drifts away. Then they are behind you, and we see two of you have been teleported. So that would be Timur and Dragar to the arena. All right. So the first challenge is to defeat your opponent and move to the final round. You hear a voice, a disembodied voice throughout the arena. Should you fail to entertain us, then something may happen to these spectators. And you can see that the spectators all look like they're kind of like scared, worried. They can't tell what's going on. You're not even sure if they can see you through the rippling of whatever barrier is over on this right-hand side. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And the way this will work is we're going to roll initiative. Everybody will have 60 seconds to declare their actions. And then once you've declared your actions, we will use however much time we need to actually go ahead and do those actions. And then the next person's turn, the next person's turn, the next person's turn. All the runes that you see on the floor around you, they all pulse with power, like a slow kind of like rhythmic pulse, though you've not given any indication what they are. And so let's go ahead and choose your tokens. And Dragar and Timur, go ahead and roll initiative.
Fight!
And
My friend.
I want initiative. I'm done.
My friend. Forgive me for what is going to happen.
Timur is still a little bit confused. We're not going to kill each other. He's just talking to the sky, are we? I can't kill my friend.
It's true.
Entertain us.
I could sing a song. Perhaps perform a short one-man play.
You see all of the spectators begin to writhe in pain.
Oh, didn't know my acting was that bad.
Your jokes definitely are.
Huh. When do we begin?
Let me grab my phone so I have my timer. All right, so starting off first round, we have our Paladin, Timur, versus our Swashbuckler, Dragar. This could be interesting. Starting at the top of the round, Timur is first. Our Paladin, go. Declare your actions.
I'm going to cast a spell.
Nothing else?
No.
All right. Go ahead and cast your spell. We'll stop the clock.
It says player versus player. Do I have to tell him what spell I'm casting?
Sure. He's seen you cast it before, right?
Has he?
I don't. You tell me.
All right. He cast Shield of Faith.
All right. That is one I think he has seen before.
Of course. Coward. Take your armor off and fight me fair.
All right. Go ahead and describe what it looks like.
He's still armed with his javelin from the camp, so he he kneels on the ground, slams that javelin point onto the ground, tightens up his shield, tightens up his helmet, and places the edge of that shield on his forehead and whispers something quiet to No God. And there's a soft glow around him that appears.
All right. Moving to the bottom of the first round. Dragar, you were up.
Right, I'm going to shoot him with my crossbow.
All right. So a 12 against your AC, Mr. Furbolg, I assume misses, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we have two characters standing their ground, not moving. We have a crossbow bolt that flies out across the arena and misses. The Furbolg doesn't even have to move. The shot has gone so far wide. It just kind of sails past him. We're into round 2. I'm going to keep track of these as we go.
I'll shout some encouragement to you. Steady on. You'll do better. Quick analysis of the runes in front of me. Nothing that I'd recommend.
None that you recognize. They all pulse the same color. They all seem to pulse at the same kind of rhythm.
All right. I will move 30 feet. I will jump over the rune and throw that javelin I've got in my hand.
Yep, so go ahead and move to the where you would be. And the javelin's distance is how far?
It's 30-120.
So let's measure it out. All right, so it'll be a disadvantaged shot, but you can heave it out towards Dragar with disadvantage.
Good luck to you.
So we see a javelin whistle past Dragar. Once again, Dragar doesn't have to move, but you can hear the speed and power that it has been thrown with. You definitely don't want to be hit by one of those if they do actually come in and hit. All right, so that brings us to Dragar's turn. Declare what you were doing.
Little off there, Timor. More practice is needed. Crossbow bolt to the eyeball. $22.
22.
Just hits.
Ooh, first blood is drawn. Do you give up now, Timor?
Are you going to ask him that?
Yes.
You don't hear an answer.
Roll damage as a crossbow bolt slams into the armor of Timor. Now, do you get your swashbuckler damage with your crossbow, or is it with your swords?
I think it's just with my sword.
So it's 9 piercing?
Yeah, just 9.
All right, Timor, 9 piercing damage from a crossbow bolt that flies across the arena. That brings us to the end of round 2 into round 3.
Oh, I put my crossbow away after that.
Okay.
Just put it in I got a little pocket I slide it into. Easy access holster.
All right. Here we go, starting the timer. Timor, declare what you're doing.
He's going to move forward another 30 feet.
All right, nothing else?
And then throw a...
All right, so on the run, we see the bounding Furbolg, armor clanking, draws another javelin from his back, I assume, and hurls it towards Dragar, who has not moved yet. Go ahead and roll to hit. Does a 17 hit Dragar?
Yes, it does.
Whoa. Blood has been drawn from both sides. 5 piercing damage as you twist, but it still catches you. Slightly.
Oh. There's the moment that javelin springs forth from Timor's hand, it gathers a sharp, sharp glow about it and smites into.
Cast the spell. Ooh, 12 radiant damage to Dragar from the godly-like smite. What does that actually look like?
The thrown weapon smite will just look like it almost turns into a lightning bolt as it shoots at him.
And then impacts with like a shower of sparks coming off of you. All right, that brings us to Dragar. Declare your actions.
I'm going to move.
Okay, so a move. Anything else?
Move 60 feet and use my cunning action. And then I'm going to shoot a crossbow bolt at the large man.
All right, so we see this dragonborn sprint across the sandstone floor. So the crossbow comes back out again, loading an arrow on the run, firing a 25 to hit. 7 more piercing damage to our paladin.
Oh, that hurt. Might have to make Goodberry.
All right. That brings us to round number 4. It's a good fight so far. Timor is up. Declare your actions.
Timor's going to turn invisible using Hidden Step.
Okay. That brings us to Dragar's turn.
Alright, I'm going to run up here.
Wait, that's a bonus action, Dan. I don't know how you want to deal with that since I'm off the map and he can't see me.
Well, yeah, anything he would try to do would be at disadvantage at this point. But that's all you wanted to do was hide?
Nope.
Oh. Declare what you're doing.
All right, I'm going to...
Oh, go ahead. And that won't bring you out of your hidden...
it says until the start of my next turn, or until I attack, make a damage roll, force someone to make a saving throw.
Okay, so yeah, it won't bring you out of your hidingness. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'll just leave him where you're at, because that's the last spot he would know you were at. But it doesn't mean that you're still there, and anything he would try to do would be at disadvantage to do it. Okay, so then go ahead and roll.
So can he... can I move?
If you declare you were going to move, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, say everything you're going to do.
Sorry, this is a PvP round. I'm not quite sure. I'm giving him all of my actions in plain sight, so it doesn't... he'll move 30 feet.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let you pop up when your round comes around. So you don't have to move your token at the moment. But, so yeah, so like in that instance, it would be like, I'm going to use my hide, I'm going to cast my spell, and then I'm going to move. And then we can resolve all of it.
Yeah.
All right, so Dragar, you see the furball kind of fade to nothingness. He's not where you had seen him before. It is your turn. Declare your actions.
Ah, this is the game the hero wants to play. I'm gonna move. Drink a heal potion, and I'm gonna hide.
All right. So what order would you like to resolve those in?
I'll drink the heal potion right now.
Go ahead and roll your 2d4 plus 2.
Is there stuff to hide behind in here? Like, is there cover?
Not currently.
Nice roll.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, you can move and then you can attempt to kind of hide, but you'll do a disadvantaged stealth roll. There's nothing really here to hide about, and it's not dark. There we go. Okay, so okay. And then Timor, go ahead and roll perception, but you get advantage because there is no nothing that he could hide behind, but go ahead and roll perception with advantage. So you beat it by just 1. You do see where he is at. Now, Timor, you come out of your invisibility, round 5. So where did you move your 30 from that last turn? And I assume you already had it picked out before you... Declare your actions.
60 seconds, right?
Yeah. So the other two need to be reading their spell lists ahead of time. You're not going to have time to read them.
All right. He's going to use another divine ability, guided strike, and throw another.
Okay, so it's a spell then, though? Or is it a channel divinity?
Channel divinity.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and put that. Oh, there it is. All right, so when you make attack roll, you get to use your channel divinity to gain a +10 bonus to the roll. Nice. But before the DM says whether the attack hits or misses.
Oh, it's an 18. Crap. 18 hit?
Yes.
Right.
How many javelins do you have?
5.
Okay, so you have 2 now, right? All right, so 5 piercing damage to Dragar.
And I will smite.
Okay. Ooh, 13 radiant damage as right at the end, the javelin kind of turns into like almost like a lightning bolt, and then we see the shower of sparks blow off, and the whole arena kind of lights up as it hits Dragar and staggers him slightly. You still going? You still up, Dragar?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool. All right, so that was Timor. Dragar's turn. Declare your action. All your actions.
All right, I'm going to race towards Furbog, pulling out my dagger and rapier, and I'm going to cut his scrotum off.
Okay. No more playing around, huh? All right. You can go ahead and move and attack.
Oh!
That's going to hurt.
Oh.
Ooh, whoa.
So what is that, 25 total?
25. Wait, I got my dagger yet.
16 probably doesn't get through his armor class. Yeah, so 25 from the rapier as it sticks into the furbolg. All right, brings us to round 6. Yeah, that's where you aimed for. Oh,
I'm not done yet.
oh, go ahead.
35. And then I'm going to use my special skill where I can disengage from one person for being a swashbuckler.
So you still have 25 feet of movement left?
Yes.
Okay, where do you go?
We're right there.
All right. So now it is Timur's turn. All right, declare your actions.
Timur is going to walk straight to him. He's going to cross over that glyph on the ground as he goes.
Which one? This one right here?
Yep. And attack.
All right. As you do that, give me a dexterity saving throw. You easily sidestep a jet of fire that bursts up into the sky. You can feel the heat radiating from it. It just burns. You go 2-3 steps past it, and then it goes down. And then you see the rune itself no longer pulses as in the same order that the other ones do. It's a much slower pulse now, and it almost looks like the light that comes from the energy of it is much dimmer, but it's slowly beginning to grow brighter.
All right. Then he interacts with his longsword and slap.
Okay. .23 should get through Dragar's armor class for 5 slashing damage.
It does.
All right. Moving on to Dragar. Both wounded, bleeding. Go ahead and declare your actions.
Rapier. 18.
He's down.
Okay. So as the final blow looks like it's about to sink in, we see a ripple along Timur's body, and he teleports back to this area, and you are now back to full health. Dragar, you a moment later teleport. You're at full health. There is some clapping. There is some chuckling from the cloaked figures. And then we hear a popping, almost like a snap sound of more fingers. And we see Alberix and Sam are teleported to the field for the next challenge. We're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to come back for challenge number 2 between our Druid Alberix and our Cleric Sam. And we'll see how this next battle goes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, and then we'll continue on with the next battle. So stay tuned. Don't go too far.
I knew that was...
All right, here we go. Round number 2. Let us clear the initiative order. Each of you select your token and go ahead and roll initiative.
So now I know why you were this way the other morning. You prayed to your gods so that we might fight each other.
Ooh, Sam is in prayer as you say that.
He's giving you the advantage intention.
Yeah.
See what you
I'm
do.
kneeling down with my eyes closed. Come get it.
All right, you guys know the drill. Round number 2 is beginning.
Answer me, dragon. I know. I know why you rebuked my gift of friendship. You prayed for this to happen, did you not?
Declare your actions. So,
I'm gonna dash.
all right, no other action?
I'm gonna dash, and then I'm gonna use my spirit totem once I get there.
All right, go ahead and dash and drop your totem, or at least ping it. Let me grab a totem. All right, you should be able to move it to where you're going to drop it. And which totem are you dropping?
I'm gonna drop the spirit of the bear. Spirit of the bear. So, as he runs over to the spot, he slides into place and puts his hand down onto the ground. And as he does, he grabs some dust and throws it up from what's on the ground. And a ghostly image of a bear appears as the totem fades away because you can't really see it.
And it has an aura, right?
It does. It's a 30-foot diameter.
Yeah.
Or
All right.
30-foot radius.
All right. And is it in the spot you want it?
I think that is. Could you put the circle around it? That's it. So that'll grant me. Hang on. That'll give me 8 temporary hit points, and none for Sam.
And none for Sam. Denied. All right. That ends your turn. Sam, declare your actions. What are you going to do on your turn?
All right. I'm going to advance on Albie.
Okay. Anything else?
That's 30. My bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
All right. What shape this time?
A red glowing lance. That was my my attack. 4.
There we go. All right, so I put the lance out. You can move it to where you cast it at. All right, and so it makes a swing with a 14. Does that get through Alberix's AC?
It does not. He slides his shoulder pad to the back as it just goes past harmlessly.
All right. That completes the round. And brings us to round number 2. Top of the round, Alberix is up.
Alberix, as he dodges the lance, shoves his hand once more down onto the granite and moves his fingers in a strange pattern. And as he lifts it up, the granite becomes a spiky, jagged area all around Sam. I'm casting Spike Growth. So I need a 20-foot radius circle.
Is that 20? 5, 10, 5, 10.
I think you might need to go a couple more boxes out. That looks right. I'd like him smack dab in the center of that thing with me on the edge.
Yeah, but you'd be in it though.
So can you move it 2 boxes to the left? That'll work.
All right, give me a sec to get it set up.
Clearly, they're going to need a template of that at some point.
Yeah.
You're using that so much.
All right. All right, that brings us to Sam.
Wait, I have movement. So I am going to...
Well, make sure you're declaring.
Yeah, okay, so I need to declare action and movement. My apologies.
Yep.
So I'm going to move over to here and use my bonus action to... that's it. I'm not going to do anything else.
All right. All right, Sam. You can see the spike growth, which you've seen him cast before. You see the totem on the ground, so you get a little bit of an idea of what that is. It is your turn. Go ahead and declare what you're going to do.
Okay, I'm going to inhale deeply and exhale some lightning breath.
All right. So that has a 30-foot range, I believe.
Let me see. 5 by 30-foot straight line.
Yeah, so he's right at the end of it. Okay. Anything else? That's all you're going to do?
I'm going to, well, I got to cast it here, so.
So he takes only 2 lightning damage from that.
He double crit saves.
Hacks.
Alberix's shield is well in front of him as he's seen him inhale this lightning death before.
I guess that didn't surprise you. All right, and then I'm going to attack you with the spear.
You can only move that thing 20.
Spiritual weapon is slow.
See, where was before was... All right, that's it.
All right, round number 3. All right, let's speed this up. Declare your actions.
All right, Albirix takes his clawed hand. A small crackle of psychic energy comes between his talons as he is going to move 30 foot to the south, and then I'm going to attack him with my psychic whip.
Wait, hold on. Why did you say you could only move 20? It says 60. 60 feet bonus. 60 feet range.
Yeah, that's for the casting, and then once you cast it, you use your bonus action to move it 20 feet and attack.
Yeah, it'll say it down there in the next paragraph. All right, Albirix. Go ahead and move to where you're going to go, to your 30 feet. All right. Hmm. 12 would not get through his AC.
All right.
All right, Sam.
It is my turn.
Go ahead and declare all your actions.
All right. So I'm going to shoot him with my bow.
Okay, so you're just going to stay still, shoot with bow, and then you're done?
And then the bonus action of moving the lance again, which is pretty much useless at this point with him moving around.
All right, so... Okay, so a 5, we see the arrow fly out and miss Albirix. You can go ahead and move the lance.
So it should be able to reach him from there. So that's...
Yes.
Are we going from the point of that thing?
Yeah,
or the whole
so
thing.
it was still... You were still within 20 feet.
So can it...
Because it was here, so even if it turns and is here, if it's that one square, it's still 5, 10, 15.
So 15 feet gets there.
Yeah. 20 easily, so yeah. So you can make your roll for that. As we see the spectral red lance kind of drift towards Albirix. And I believe a 14 also would not hit. So you guys have good armor classes. Could be a longer fight. All right. That brings us to round number 4. Top of the round.
I'm going to pretty much, you're going to see a pattern here. I'm going to move 30 feet to the right, and then I'm going to psychic whip him once more.
All right. Are you going through?
I am not. I'm going around the edge of it.
Okay. All right. Swing away. Ooh, does a 20 get to your AC?
That
Sam.
does.
All right, so 1d6. So you get 2 piercing damage from the whip. And so you will get pulled 10 feet closer. I'll move you. 5, 10. And you will take 3 magical spiky damage.
That's 3 per 5 foot. So 6 points of damage.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So a 6. So 6, 7, 8 total damage. All right, that brings us to Sam's turn.
All right.
Go ahead and declare all the things you want to do.
So I'm going to. Is there a DC check for getting dragged through that? The roots, the thorns.
No, it's part of that ability that he has. So it's on a hit that he's able to do it. Unless there's not something in that text.
There's not. It's right there in the thing.
Oh. But if you're next to him, he can't pull you any closer.
Well, it says a wisdom perception check for the spike growth, right? When I get dragged through it.
That's for you to notice it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know it's there.
Right. All right. So now.
Yep, you got to declare your actions.
I'm gonna shoot him with a bow.
Okay. Yep, 7 arrow will fly past.
And then the bonus action with the land.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I would get close, but not quite. All right.
Yep, that's it.
Albirex just runs to the left and summons the psychic whip again. It's clear that he has Sam wearing one.
All right, go ahead and try.
$17 does not hit, does it?
It does not.
Does not.
All right, Sam is up. What are your actions?
Same thing. Shoot him with a
Oh,
bow.
Sorry, never mind. That was the end of my turn.
So shoot with the bow and then...
Attack with the lance.
All right, 15. No, I don't think that's going to get through his AC. But you can go ahead and swing with the spiritual weapon. Critical hit. Go ahead and roll damage. $13. And you do
Gotta
make
be
your con
kidding
save.
me.
Another one. But you do take 13 damage.
Oh! As it clips him on the shoulder.
All right, brings us to the top of the 6th round. Alberix is up. Declare your
Make my-
actions.
Make my attack and then move.
Okay.
bless it. All right. Now I'm going to move. That's my turn.
Did you go over the rune?
Went around it.
Okay. Sam is up. Declare your actions. Bottom of the 6th round.
All right. Oh, hold on. I messed up my screen. I'm going to cast Shatter.
Ooh, go ahead and okay. And then that's your action. No movement, no bonus action, or you move the.
I'm going to cast that, and then I'm going to move the lance. So
Okay, so put that in chat for us.
Shatter has a range of 60 feet. And then I'm going to use my Destructive Wrath, since it's a thunder spell, for maximum damage.
All right, so yeah, go. Are you gonna go ahead and cast it so we can see it?
I don't know how. Well, if I cast it, it won't show what it does. It'll just roll it.
Oh well, go ahead and see what it does. It should give us some info. I'll pull it up on the.
Yeah, it doesn't give a summary.
All right, but it still says 60 feet. All right, so.
But it's 24 damage. If the creature takes 24 damage on a failed save.
You get a Constitution save. All right,
As
so.
the energy explodes on Albirix, his shield flies out of his hand, and he starts to go backwards as the ripple of the energy takes him to the sidelines.
Okay. The shatter ends Albirix. All right. And we see the 2 return. So our 2 champions were the Dragonborns, huh? Interesting. Let me clear the board for us a second. Nope, don't do that. Shit. That is the map layer, right? Let me... Huh. Check some tokens.
God, how many times did he hit you?
Twice.
Nope. I can't seem to grab that token. Let me see here. What can I do? How can I grab that? Whew, there we go. All right, that was a pain. Don't put it on the map layer. That's what I've learned. All right. Final round. It seems like it'll be our 2 Dragonborns. So we will move Dragar to the top and Sam to the bottom.
So do we get our spells and abilities back, like after a long rest?
You do not. Objects and token to the front.
So the spiritual weapon should be up as far as how many rounds it lasts, though, right?
Well, we went 6 rounds. How many rounds does it go?
It says duration 1 minute, so 10 rounds, right?
Yeah, so it had 4 rounds left then?
Yep.
Okay. We'll put it back.
He said, "Damn, spiked growth is gone. He's got daggers coming at me now."
All right. So each of you can select your tokens and go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, is our hit points healed at all, or
Hit points are
that's
back
still-
to Hit points are back to maximum.
hit points back, spells and abilities? No,
Correct.
like divinities and stuff like that.
Yep.
I like my divinity back.
So go ahead and roll initiative. All right. So let us start with round number 1. Starting off, Dragar, you are up.
Alright, I'm gonna move, shoot, and hide.
Okay. So go ahead and where are you moving to first? Resolve that. And are you going over any of the runes?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Oh, I missed. Now I'm gonna hide.
Go ahead and disadvantage stealth. So a 15, and then Sam, you can go ahead and roll perception with advantage. The 17 beats the 15, so okay. You do see him approaching at a run. Brings us to Sam. Go ahead and declare your actions.
All right, I move forward.
Okay, so you're going to move. What else?
And then move my as a bonus action the lance. The lance can only move 20 feet though, right? So
Right, the front part of it. Yep.
it can't even stay up with me since I moved 30.
Yep. You should be able to move it though.
All right, can I fire with my bow?
Yeah, go ahead. Arrow misses. So we have a bolt go past. We have an arrow fly out as both combatants rush to meet each other in the center. Moving to round number 2. All right, Dragar, what are your actions?
Alright, I'm gonna run and dash, attack, and then move away.
All right, go ahead. So resolve your move. Or your dash, right?
Yep, that took me 40 feet to get to there.
Okay.
I move and then dash. I'm gonna attack and finish my dash.
Yep. Okay. So you get a rapier attack. A 15 is not good enough to get through Sam's armor, but the 25 is.
No dagger because you use your bonus action to dash.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's your cunning action, right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I forgot.
So we see a rapier strike out, but Sam is able to knock it aside with his armor You can finish your dash now. And you still have movement. Because you would have movement. So the dash
don't let him
is...
get too far away.
Yeah. Oh, you used your move before it. Then you did your dash. Gotcha. Okay.
30 and 30 dash. Yep.
All right. So Sam's up. Go ahead and declare all your actions.
I cast Spiked Growth. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
It's not me.
That's my move.
Can I borrow it? Damn speedy rogue. So I'm going to move up.
Go ahead and declare all your actions.
Yep.
What are all the things you're going to do? So you're going to move and what?
All right. And now I'm going to cast Thunder Wave. And then also move, and if I can attack with my lance.
Okay, so go ahead and cast the spell in chat for us. All right, Dragar, give us a DC 13 con save, please. Ooh, so you take half that damage. You take 7 thunder damage. You made the save, so you're not blown back. All right, that brings us to round number 3. This one's going quick.
All right, rapier, dagger, and then I'm going to back up.
All right, so rapier, dagger, move. Go ahead and fire off those abilities. So a 24 would get through the AC. And that'll be for 15 points of piercing damage to Sam. Dagger misses, -1 damage. And go ahead and complete your move.
Wait, I'm going to use the ability.
Yep.
Wrath of Storm, 2d8 when you're hit by an attack, half if a successful save.
All right. Do you have that so we can see it in chat? We need to know what the DC save is. All right. So DC 13 con saves, Dragar. Ooh, makes it again. Does it say if he takes half or none if he makes the save?
Half.
Okay, so 3 lightning damage to Dragar.
Yep, half.
And all right, that is Sam's turn, or that's Dragar's turn.
Yep, that's my
So
turn.
now we go to Sam. Go ahead and declare what you want to do. So what are the things you're doing?
All right, same thing. Thunder Wave. Hold on, where is he? I don't see his token.
Should be right.
Oh, he's way up there. Jeez.
That was an actual role-playing moment.
Shifty dragon.
So you got to declare your actions though. So you're moving, you're casting a spell, and then what?
And then for the bonus, moving the land.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now you can move. You can cast your spell.
Yeah, I did. It was 8 thunder.
All right, so this time he did not make the roll, so I believe that is going to push him back. Let me look up Thunderwave. I should know. You guys cast it enough. 10 feet.
Knock him out of the arena.
Nope, just shoves him to there. All right, and he takes 8 of the thunder damage as once again thunder resounds off of the arena. Everybody's ears are ringing once more. All right.
He's pushed 10 feet away.
Yep.
Push 10.
All right. I'm
Dragar.
run up to him, attack him. Then I'm gonna retreat.
Okay. So 10 feet of movement first. You'd still have 20 feet after that. Action 21. Does that get through your AC?
That does.
All right. Roll damage for rapier. This is 17 piercing damage on Sam. And then bonus action dagger crits. This could be trouble. So you get the 4 and the 2, correct? So you get another 6 piercing damage.
Buried that to the hilt.
So 17 plus 6?
Correct.
All right, I'm down. That's my exact hit points.
Oh, it hit 0. So we see a ripple as the bubble ripples across Sam, and then you are teleported back here, and Dragar is teleported back here. All right, and with that,
Dude, I'd like to get Dragar's dice checked. He rolled over 20, like 12 out of 14 times this last 2 rounds.
It defies logic.
so give me 1 second.
My friends call it mathematically impossible.
Look, 1d20, roll a 20. 1d20, roll. He did it 6 times.
I want to set one last little thing up. Let's do it this way. There we go. The lance. Actually, the lance probably. Did we go 4 rounds? We might not have. Get that out of the way. And then you. Perfect. For our final challenge. Can you see the tokens on the screen? You may want to zoom in.
What?
No.
I don't know who these guys are.
As the cloaks come off.
What?
They have faces you don't know, you have never seen. They all kind of laugh and chuckle at you. And then, with another swirl, they all disappear.
Was Vincent the woman?
And let's move you guys back to the campground here.
Just gonna shrug my shoulders and look over at Sam and say, "Fickle gods, pretty sure yours are still listening to you. Don't worry about
So you guys arrive
I'm
back
well
in the cold. The snow is coming down pretty good. And then you look around your campsite, and it looks like as if you've never left. There's kind of snow on your shoulders as if you've been sitting here. The fire is warm, beating back the night. And Dragar, as you look down, you realize that there is now a tattoo on the back of your hand that has a faint glow to it. And it has what looks to be like 4 Celtic knot symbols intertwined with each other.
All right, cool.
If we just had a mage to tell you.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. So, you'll know what this is. I just gotta get to the right page here real quick.
So I shake my Dragonborn brother's hand and say, well done. Great fight, Dragonborn brother. And I shake it.
Thank you, brother. Your words mean a lot to me. You fought well, Sam, as you always do.
Oh my God, your thrusts were so true, right between the armor. Right in the smallest.
I hear that all the time. My thrusts are ones of legends.
All right, so here is what this tattoo will do. This is a once per day, so once per long rest. You can use the power of this, of the favor of the gods. You can call it favor of the gods. And your hand will turn into a small glowing buckler, or as if a small glowing buckler made of sunlight will appear in your hand. And until the end of your next turn, any enemy who starts their turn within 5 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw or be blinded until the end of your next turn. You will also gain +5 to your AC for the duration of that ability. So it's till so it's basically to the end of your next turn. So you get one kind of full round of it.
That's cool.
Once per day shield with line.
So it kind of comes out to be like almost like the wizard shield spell, but adds a blind component to it. And what I'll do is I'll create like a handout note maybe also, just so you have it. And that is what you have received, the blessing of the gods.
All right, thank you, divine ones. And brothers, thank you for your fight. You fought well today.
Team will nod. Go back to the fire. Continue with dinner.
So the rest of the adventure is nice and easy as you make your way over the next day or so over to the shrine. There does not appear to be any desecration of the shrines. It looks to be as is. You can see the different... you can tell that there's been some people here, but it was people who have come and left offerings. And as you get there, we see the sun burst kind of through the clouds in the snowy weather, and the overcast day is kind of banished with the brightness of the sun. And though it still is a cold autumn kind of day, it is a bright blue with sun shining day. There appears to be nothing amiss with the rune, and you return with a nice 2-day travel back to Port Bastion, none the wearier.
Albirix is quiet and a bit sullen. He feels as though he was beset upon by this priest and his god.
Oh, let's there we go.
He's quite terse with any type of conversation, Didn't really want to have it.
You do notice that while you were gone, Skrull has made an amazing recovery from his bird flu. And you can begin to make your plans as you still have a couple of days left before your teleport would expire. And that is what I have prepared for you guys tonight. It was a nice little fun PvP action roll. Just throw something out there in between. We did it with one of the other groups, and their swords was a sword singer. Yeah, I always say spell singer, but it's was the one that was able to win against their group, which was super fun. And they used a lot more of the runes because the runes, most of them are beneficial. And very few of them are harmful. It just happened to be the one the furbog stepped on. But the rest of them,
fire, I wasn't having it.
Yeah, the rest of them were like extra healing, teleport around, and different structures, walls and stuff would rise up in the arena if you stepped on them for cover and stuff.
Are those guys all level 1?
They were 1s and 2s. So for that fun action and being good sports, though you did not get much treasure, all of you did get 600 XP for participating in the challenge.
Woo! Man, you guys can stab me all you want to for 600 XP.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, so...
However, the emotional damage that's been done here may be a little different.
Those jackholes did dangle the possibility of sending you home and then yank.
Little did they know that I wouldn't be pissed about that.
I know. Those guys are jerks.
So that will complete tonight's adventure. I hope everybody had some fun.
That was a blast.
It's kind of a different way to see your character and classes.
Yeah, that's fun.
We'll put some better music on here, and we'll launch it out. So everybody did a cool job. And maybe later on, at some point, we'll have some more challenges amongst each other later on down the road. I think it'd be fun. The other thing I was thinking about doing is having the champions fight from the two groups. So at some point, let the champion fight the other champion to see who is the greatest champion.
Does that spell singer have like enough to take 3 crits from a
He's got a lot of shield spells. He's got a really high AC, and he swings with 2 swords also. So it would be interesting.
I would bet money on that.
And magic missile right off. This is what he almost killed somebody with.
And,
automatic hit.
Spell singers with single weapon only, though.
Nope, you have 2 weapons. You have 2 short swords, in fact.
Two lights, as long as it's light.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to stop a swashbuckler at that point. Nothing.
So that puts me over 2,000 for XP.
Oh, I thought the smites almost put the swashbuckler down. It was close. In fact, if he didn't have the potion, he was definitely out.
Yeah, that's true. Them smites were destroying me quickly.
If I had a crit on one of those, maybe. Yeah, but I know that swashbucklers are brutal there. Poor Skrull. Skrull would have been just abused in this fight.
Or I was thinking too with Sam. I was waiting for the because he has some of the cool magic stuff like the dodge action, and then just use your reaction to use that damage spell on him. So when he hits, take the advantage away.
Well, I was going to cast Fairy Fire once I got him in the spike growth, and I thought, man, I might be able to hit that. I was wrong.
I did ask him if he had command there
Yeah.
to dump it on you.
Drop your
'Cause I
weapon.
thought all you've really got to do is you just say approach, and you'd have walked right through all that spike growth, taking all that damage for 30 feet worth of movement. It'd have probably killed you in a round.
So very interesting, and everything changes as levels go up. So some classes start out strong early, some classes get way stronger the later you go. So, and I don't even think they've designed the game so that you guys can fight each other one-on-one fairly, but I think it was a cool fight, and it was interesting. I would like to see maybe at some point, maybe we have the other group that you guys had, Karzan, Joseph, Fluke, and Vincent fight could be fun at some point.
We wouldn't stand a chance against those guys.
Well, they're 4th level, so maybe once you guys are 4th level, we'll see what happens. So, all right.
Imagine a whole game of Fluke using his luck rolls through that. That'd be brutal.
Yeah, using them against Timor. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the stream. We are going to be playing games throughout the week, though. Check back tomorrow night. I'm playing Tomb of Annihilation with my 8th level Barbarian, Zealot Barbarian, which is could clearly kick anybody's ass here easily. I think it's 2nd level he would have killed all of you. The Barbarians kick ass.
I hear enough bragging about those barbarians save me a lifetime.
Gnome barbarians. Halfling barbarians.
Halfling barbarian, yeah.
And after that, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I know are holidays for those of us that are in the U.S., but I will be playing games and trying to get some games going of other systems. So we've got Warhammer. We've got several different superhero games. I've got role-play games that I want to run. So hopefully I can drag some players together. And they're not, some of those players that don't have families or do all that kind of junk like me and are just going to play all week long. So stay tuned for that. And then the Saturday morning D&D show, which is getting better and better every week. Make sure you see that at 12 p.m. Eastern. So thanks for joining our stream, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Outro. Transition.